Hail. As I sit here tonight, staring at the blank page in front of me, my heart feels unbearably heavy. The stillness of the room echoes louder than ever, and every second that passes feels like a countdown to tomorrow, a day I never wanted to face. Because tomorrow morning, I must confront the truth I've been avoiding for far too long. You don't love me anymore. Those words, even now, are hard to write. They taste bitter in my mouth. They linger in my chest like a storm refusing to break. For a long time, I told myself that maybe things would change, that maybe your silence was just a phase, that maybe your distance wasn't really distance, just exhaustion, distraction, or life happening. But deep inside, I've always known the truth. Love doesn't vanish overnight. It slowly fades, first in the eyes, then in the voice, and finally in the heart. You see, I'm not angry. I'm not here to blame you or to make you feel guilty. I've learned that sometimes love doesn't end because of betrayal or mistakes. Sometimes it just quietly slips away. People grow, hearts evolve, and two paths that once ran perfectly side by side start to drift apart, little by little, until one day you look around and realize you're walking alone. It's painful to admit it, but I can't ignore it anymore. Tomorrow, I will have to look at you and say out loud what I already feel deep inside. Tomorrow, I'll have to speak the words that will close this chapter of our story. I will tell you how much it hurts to lose you, how much I wish things could have been different, and how, despite everything, I still wish you well. This conversation will not be easy for either of us. There will be long pauses, trembling voices, maybe even tears that we try to hide. But I believe we owe each other honesty. We owe it to the love we once shared to end it with dignity, with respect, and with the same sincerity that once brought us together. Because even endings deserve tenderness. Tonight, as I prepare for what's coming, I find myself revisiting our past. Every memory, every moment, every small fragment of what we were plays through my mind like an old film. I remember the first time you smiled at me, that shy, uncertain smile that somehow lit up everything around you. I remember how easily we could talk for hours about everything and nothing, how we made plans for a future that now feels like a dream that belonged to another lifetime. Those days were beautiful. They were real. They were ours. I remember how your laughter used to fill the room, how it made me forget the weight of the world. I remember our quiet nights, our whispered promises, the feeling of your hand in mine, warm, certain, safe. I remember how love felt when it was new, when it was effortless, when it didn't have to be explained or defended. And yet, somewhere along the way, something changed. It didn't happen all at once. It was slow, so slow that I almost didn't notice it. The calls became shorter. The texts became fewer. The silences grew longer. You started to drift, and I started to reach. I reached so hard that I began to lose myself in the process. I kept thinking, if I love harder, maybe they'll come back. But love cannot survive through fear. It cannot breathe when one person is holding on alone. That's why tomorrow, I have to let you go. Not because I want to. Not because the love I have for you has disappeared. But because I finally understand that love should be mutual. It should flow both ways. Holding onto something that no longer wants to stay isn't love. It's self-destruction. And I've been destroying myself slowly, quietly, behind every smile I've forced and every "I'm fine" I've whispered into the dark. You once told me that love means wanting the other person to be happy, even if it's not with you. I didn't understand it then. But now, standing at the edge of this goodbye, I finally do. I want you to be happy, truly, deeply happy, even if that happiness no longer includes me. When we talk tomorrow, I hope we can both be brave. I hope we can face this ending with open hearts, not bitterness. I hope we can find a way to part as two people who once shared something beautiful, not as strangers carrying resentment. because you deserve peace. And so do I. If I could make one request before we end this chapter, it would be this. Let's remember the good. Let's not let the pain of this moment erase the beauty of what we had. Let's remember the laughter, the shared dreams, the nights we couldn't stop talking, the mornings we didn't want to end. Let's remember how we made each other feel alive, even if it didn't last forever. You taught me so much about love, what it means to care for someone deeply, what it means to give without expecting, and what it means to grow through pain. Because of you, I know now that love isn't about possession. It's about appreciation. It's about holding someone close while they're here and letting them go when they need to leave. It's strange how someone who once felt like home can become a memory you have to pack away. But maybe that's the point of love. It's not meant to last forever, but to change us forever. When I look back, I won't see failure. I'll see courage, the courage to love, to hope, to try. And now, the courage to let go. I don't want us to end in anger. I don't want to walk away feeling like we lost something. Instead, I want to walk away knowing that we shared something meaningful, something rare. You will always have a place in my heart. That's not something that disappears. It just becomes quieter, softer, more distant, like an echo that still lingers long after the sound has faded. I know that in the coming weeks, I'll miss you. I'll reach for my phone and stop myself from typing your name. I'll see something funny and instinctively want to share it with you. I'll pass by familiar places, cafes, streets, songs that will remind me of us. And every reminder will sting, but it will also heal little by little, because missing you means I loved you. And that's something I'll never regret. I hope when you think of me, you remember the best parts, my laughter, my patience, my love. I hope you remember the way I looked at you like you were my whole world. Because for a while, you were. Tomorrow will mark an ending, but it will also mark a beginning of healing, of rediscovery, of learning how to live again without each other. I will take what we had and let it shape me, not break me. You once said that everything happens for a reason. Maybe this is the reason. To teach us that love isn't always meant to last. Sometimes it's meant to transform us. If someday our paths cross again, I hope we can smile at each other, knowing that what we shared was real. I hope there will be no bitterness in that smile, just warmth, just quiet respect, just the understanding that we both did the best we could. Tonight, I want to thank you. Thank you for the love you gave me, for the kindness, the laughter, the little things that mattered more than you'll ever know. Thank you for the lessons, for the memories, for being a part of my story. Even though our story is ending, your chapter in my life will always remain one of the most meaningful. I'll carry your memory gently, not as a burden, but as a reminder that love once lived here. And when I finally close this letter, I'll do it with peace in my heart, because loving you was never a mistake. It was a gift, a painful, beautiful, unforgettable gift. Maybe one day, I'll look back on this time and understand why it had to end. Maybe one day, I'll find someone new, someone who loves me the way I deserve to be loved. But even then, a small part of me will always remember you. The way your eyes lit up when you laughed, the way you made ordinary days feel like something special. Love doesn't disappear. It just changes form. It becomes gratitude, growth, and wisdom. So tomorrow, when I finally speak these words to you, know that they come from the deepest part of me, the part that still loves you, but has learned to let you go. I will tell you the truth, that my heart is breaking, but it's still full of love, that I wish things could have been different, but I'm thankful for what they were, that I'm ready to walk away, not because I've stopped caring, but because I finally realized that sometimes the most loving thing we can do is say goodbye. And when that moment comes, when the words hang between us and the silence settles, I'll take a deep breath and I'll remember this. I loved, I lost, I learned, and that's enough. So, my love, this is my goodbye, not out of anger, not out of bitterness, but out of understanding. You were once my home, and now you'll be my memory, but a beautiful one, a gentle one. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for teaching me what love is. Thank you for being my beginning, even if you can't be my forever. When the sun rises tomorrow, I'll walk forward with tears in my eyes. Yes, but with peace in my soul, because I'll know that I gave my all. I love deeply, honestly, completely. And now, I'm brave enough to let go. Goodbye, my love. Be happy. Be free. And if you ever think of me, I hope it brings a small smile to your face. Not sadness, not regret, just warmth and the memory of something once beautiful. Because it was beautiful, and it always will be.